So this is a patch. I don't know if you can see it's flexing in there. I don't know if they used a Home Depot patch kit or what. But what I'm gonna do is hit this with some 80 grit on my shop vac sander and see what we get. And I'll probably mix up some hot mud and float it out to here. While we're down here, this is a different style texture. This is knockdown texture. You can see how it's been knocked down with like a knife after it was sprayed on. So it's different than the last drywall job I did where it was just orange peel. So you can see it all flattened out. So let's see how this goes here. Well, this is probably some sort of patch kit. I honestly don't know. I've never seen one. I don't use these, so I don't know much about it. I've made pretty quick work of it. There's no dust in here, didn't breathe anything in. But it shouldn't be too difficult to patch that hole. Ooh, thermostat wire. This is hot mud or setting compound. This will be dry in about 30 minutes. When I'm in 30 minutes, I'll come back and I'll scrape this little ridge off here, and then I will give a little bit of a spot treatment right in here. It's not necessary because I'm going to spray knockdown texture all over the area here. I'm going to go do something else for 30 minutes. Okay, we'll let this completely dry, and then I will sand and feather the edges and just give a little bit of sanding in the middle, and then we will texture. So as you can see, it's not 100% cured. Notice I said cured and not dried. It's close enough. So the last thing on my list before I can go home is get texture on this. So to further blend these edges, especially down here, I'm going to use a wet rag and just wipe it clean. Works amazing. It also works for cleaning it up. So if you get some on the floor, just wipe it right off. Keep in mind this floor is going to be refinished. These spray cans, wall texture, I've been having problems with them. You got to make sure you pull the little safety tab off, and obviously you got to break this front tab off. But even with that, I've been having them like have a malfunction in here, and just start spewing texture all over out of inside of here. Now the first thing I'm going to do is go out to the garage and shoot this at the garage and adjust my spray pattern. Just a random spot on the garage wall. Then come back and spray the wall. Just want to give you a close-up of what this is going to look like. Keep in mind this will all be painted, and this semi-gloss will most likely be covered. I don't think they're going over it with a semi-gloss. It's that shiny. So just about every bit of that repair gets this sprayed on and then knocked down. A little bit heavier. Got it on its heaviest setting, trying to get some good sized globs on there for me to smear out. Now the next step is you got to let it set up. You got to let it dry a little bit so that when you drag your knife over it, it just doesn't smear it right, or it just doesn't scrape it right off. There's a lot of factors that determine how long you got to wait. I'm going to be using a combination of a 12 and a 6-inch knife. On larger projects, I've got a big wide purpose-made knockdown knife. It's got a big bar on it. You can do entire walls. Another thing is it's going to dry faster over the repair and slower over where it's been painted, because oh man, that looks good. because it soaks in to the mud. Oh, nothing better than that. Run it back, like 10 minutes. Okay, yes, keep close. Sometimes you fix this knife, just get a little spot and you have a dip in the wall. Right there. One further. Make sure that not down. Let it in. So since this house has been painted so many times, the texture up there has been filled in a lot with paint. So before I primer this, before I prime it, I'm going to go over it with the dry rag just to kind of soften the edges and I say mute it down a little bit so that it's a closer match to the wall that's been painted 3, 4, 5 times. Give you a quick close up before I'm out of battery. Once this entire wall gets a full coat of paint, of course I'm not painting this, they got painters coming to paint this entire house. This here has to be primed or else it'll soak in the paint and it'll flash and you'll see all that. That's it for tonight. I got a few little spots I gotta make better, more better. So one up here. There we go. So tune in next time. Hopefully this place is painted and I can get back in here and show you what it looks like with a new carpet, fresh paint job, all that business. You don't want to mess with it too much. But since it's got so much paint on it, I can kind of mess around a little bit more, get it knocked down a little flatter. More flat. Oh, baby, that looks good. Let's see, what do we do? Subscribe, click the bell, give me a like, leave a comment, questions. Safety concerns? I'm always interested in hearing about that. Goodbye.